to exhibit courage, real courage. At great personal, Nadeko, which you were part of, helped sustain the flame of liberty when it was most at risk of going out, even to say a word. So as we mark this day, let us remember those who bled so we could vote, those who took risks so we could speak, those who were so that freedom might rise. Let us also pay tribute to all those who played pivotal in Nigeria's democratic transition. This year's theme, 26 years of democracy, renewing our commitment to national development, is not a slogan. It's a call to purpose, a reminder that democracy is not an end, but a means to national transformation. Under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's leadership, we have seen transformation in his bold to build and reform the decayed Nigeria. From unifying the foreign exchange markets, to local government autonomy, to the formation of the regional commissions, to Nigeria's educational loan fund, to removing the fuel subsidies, to attracting foreign investments, to the major issue at stake today, the tax reforms, the tax unifications. This administration has shied away from the hard decisions required to stabilize and grow our economy. It has not shied away from it, as other administrations did. These efforts are gradually restoring investors' confidence, laying the foundation for long-term prosperity, and refocusing government expenditure towards productive investments. Mr. President, we commend you for your boldness, your vision, and your unwavering belief in the future of this country called Nigeria. Likewise, the 10th National Assembly, which marks today, June 13, which ought to be tomorrow, but we are marking it today, has played its part with diligence and distinction. From its inception, the 10th National Assembly demonstrated and is still demonstrating a renewed vigor towards addressing the country's complex issues and challenges through purposeful legislations. This commitment is reflected in its extraordinary output. A total of 844 bills have been introduced within its first 2 years, 844 bills. An unprecedented figure that underscores the Senate's and the House of Representatives' proactive posture towards tackling pressing national issues. Out of this impressive volume, 107 bills are currently at the committee stages, undergoing the necessary scrutiny and stakeholders' engagement that will ensure quality legislation. 206 bills in the Senate are awaiting first reading, reflecting a robust pipeline of legislative ideas prepared to ensure the formal introduction, and 409 bills have also advanced to second stages in the Senate. I'm sure my brother will mention the ones in the House of Reps. Notably, the Senate so far has passed 96 bills, a record for any Nigerian Senate within 2 years only. At this stage, the legislative cycle, even more of these bills have been assented to by Mr. President, translating into enforceable laws that will shape the governance of this country. Economic development, public welfare, and national security. These bills include the National Education Fund, local government autonomy, as earlier stated, regional development commissions, tax reforms. Universities have been established, particularly in the areas of agriculture. I must thank you also for the University of Environment established in Ogoniland, long ravaged by oil exploration and exploitation. You saw the need to establish that institution to remediate the terrible situation of the Niger Delta. We thank you. The 10th Senate has acted decisively on 26 executive bills, showcasing a healthy balance of cooperation and oversight in its engagement with the executive arm. These executive-sponsored legislations address key policy issues that will benefit not just the Senate, but Nigerians as a whole. And we have done this through thorough review and refinement. Beyond bills, the National Assembly has received over 100 petitions from Nigerian citizens and civil societies. This is a testimony to the public trust in the institution. Of these, 28 petitions have been fully adopted, providing redress, transparency, and institutional accountability. History teaches us that nations make the greatest progress when the executive arm that governs us has vision, and the legislature guides with wisdom. But they prosper most when both work hand in hand, not as rivals, but as co-stewards of the national trust. In the United States, Mr. President, the Civil Rights Act and the space race were all made possible through executive-legislative collaboration. In Rwanda and Ghana, transformation was achieved through shared resolve between these two arms of government. In South Africa, Mandela's dream was realized through executive-legislative collaboration. The lesson is very clear. Where governance is in partnership, progress follows. But where governance is a contest, the people suffer. Therefore, as we commemorate 26 years of uninterrupted democratic governance, we must renew our national commitment to foster collaboration between the different arms of government and ignore the critics who decide to term the parliament rubber stamp. But they do not understand why we are here. Democracy is not a gift, it is a trust that we must protect. To the youth, we must not treat democracy with apathy. To the civil society, we must not let memory fade. To the media, we must be held accountable through responsible journalism. And to every Nigerian, democracy must not be reduced to election days. It must live in our values, it must live in our institutions, and it must live in our daily lives. So let us preserve the memory of June 12. I respectfully urge Mr. President that we consider the establishment of a June 12 museum, a living archive where the stories, artifacts, struggles, and sacrifices of our leaders and the democratic movement will be housed, preserved, and taught, and let nations learn from the past losses of our dear country. And this will remain a moral compass for the future generations. As President of the Senate, I reaffirm the unwavering commitment of the 10th National Assembly to the cause of the Nigerian people. We must continue to champion every policy that uplifts the poor, empowers our youth, strengthens our economy, and defend the dignity of every citizen of this nation. We owe it